What's up, guys? It's Jack here, and today I want to bring you a video explaining multiple... Justin, can you not talk, please, for 5 seconds? Okay, my brother is over there playing Xbox right now. You can probably see him right there. So if he yells, that's why, because he's getting butthurt at ghosts. So, I want to bring you guys a video from my webcam, actually, and it's not my iPod, thankfully, finally. And I'm using my webcam. I always had one, but I never really thought to make a video on it. I don't know how well it's going to look, so this is just sort of a test to see how nice my face looks. We have a Christmas tree up, because we're like that. So, let's get into what I want to talk about. There's a couple things I need to talk about, because I haven't made a video in a little bit, so I need to talk about some of that. The first thing I want to talk about is talking about Call of Duty Ghosts, because I have yet to make a Call of Duty Ghosts review, and I want to talk about it because I think I have a pretty strong opinion about it. That was a long sentence spewed into one little bit. Right there, that's how I talk, because I'm like that. So, Call of Duty Ghosts, I think, is a good game. It's way better than Black Ops 2, in my opinion. And in my opinion, Black Ops 2 is the worst Call of Duty of all time. Sorry. If you have a different opinion, I respect that opinion, but in my opinion, the way I play and the way I rush or play defensively, depending on how I do it, Black Ops 2 was not my game. Even though I still had a pretty decent KD, I am doing a lot better in Call of Duty Ghosts than I have in any other game, except for Black Ops 1, but my KD didn't really go up in that because that was the first one I played, and my KD was .2 for a long time, so that's why. Black Ops 1 and Call of Duty Ghosts are my two favorite Call of Duties, and I'm going to tell you why. Call of Duty Ghosts simplified it, I think, just a little bit. Some of you might say, no, they didn't, they have 35 perks. Well, there's a way that they simplified it a lot more. There's less weapons, and I think that's a good thing. Some people are going to say that I want more weapons. Well, evidence shows that they're going to have gun DLC, so calm your boobies. There's going to be gun DLC, so there's going to be more guns. But anyway, I think they simplified it, and I always thought that was Call of Duty 4's, success, other than the fact that it was the first one that brought kill streaks and stuff like that, because Call of Duty 3, 2, and 1 kind of sucked in that aspect. But anyway, I think they tried to re-simplify it, because Black Ops 2 had just so many things, they had so many kill streaks, and the pick 10 system, there was just so many things, and there was faults with the actual game itself, the lag compensation and whatnot. Apart from the games itself, actually the companies, Infinity Ward and Treyarch, I like Treyarch for their post-launch support. They've always done a really good job at stopping any bugs, glitches, or hackers, or anything like that. I noticed that there have been people who have already hacked to 10th Prestige, or something along those lines, or I've heard rumors of bonded lobbies and such, but I think that Infinity Ward makes a funner game. And yes, I know, I just used the word funner in a sentence. But it is a word, by the way. If you were wondering, funner is a word. Look it up, it is a word. So, I think they make a more fun game, because some of the things they do, and it might not be as serious as Treyarch might make it, because they patch everything as soon as they hear about it, but I think that Infinity Ward's games are more fun. I like... enough about that. Let's get into the actual Call of Duty Ghosts itself, what I like about it, what I don't like about it. First thing I don't like about it is the spawns. Spawns are not very good in that game, and I don't really like them. I know that the maps are big and they kind of want to spawn you close to people, but when I spawn right in front of or right behind someone, it's not very fair to me or them, depending on what happens. And I'm not going to complain if I get a free kill, but if I spawn in front of someone who's running around a corner and I spawn here and I get shot, well then, I mean, you can't. So there are a lot of times where you can get a 4-death streak real quick in this game because of that. Another thing that I don't really know quite yet about is the bullet damage, or whatever you want to call it. How many bullets you need to put someone down, and usually that's about 3 in this game, if you're close. The Honey Badger usually takes 3 or 4 bullets close up to kill them, and it's got a pretty high fire rate, so it does that pretty well. The MSBS, being a 3-round burst, puts people down in 1 burst if you're within 50 feet or whatever. But if you're not, you got a 3-round burst weapon that shoots pretty slow. So that's why, sometimes you get multiple bursts with the MSBS because of the not as good range and the slower fire rate. But I do think sometimes bullet damage goes against me. If I'm not looking at the camera, it's because this is where I am right here. I'm right there, and the camera's right there. So if I'm doing that, I'm just making sure that I'm not off the camera or anything. So, yeah, hit detection I do think is good, but bullet damage, I feel like it would be better with less shots, but then again, it's more fast-paced if you can go through, kill people in 3 or 4 than it would with 4 or 5. Because that one bullet makes a big difference if you're running and gunning, but sometimes if you are running and you don't have ready up, which I think is a needed perk, if you're running around a corner and you don't have ready up, you're not going to win that gunfight. Another thing I don't really like about the game is the maps. Some people are going to say that I'm wrong because just because I haven't played it on the One yet. And I bet the maps are going to be quite a bit better once I get the Xbox One, which I will get to that later, why I don't have that yet. And so, it's only because it's 6v6 domination, and I think the maps are going to be a lot easier to play on once there's 18 people in a match, 9v9 or whatever it is. So, that's the only reason. I do think that there are a couple maps that are poorly made. I'm not a huge fan of Stonehaven. It's more of a love or hate. Sometimes I find a good spot during the game, because I don't think you can rush on that map. I've tried to rush on it, and it doesn't work, so sometimes you kind of have to set up in a little circle on the map and just sort of do that, because that does kind of work. Another map I don't really like is Sovereign, because it's like almost symmetrical in a way, but I don't think a map should be symmetrical. I don't know how to explain it. I just don't really like it. I don't like how it plays, because I think B is sort of in no man's land. Same with Siege. Although I do like playing Siege, I think if you're playing Domination on that map, that the B flag is in a little bit of a weird spot, and I think they should have put it in the cave. And I told my brother that the other day, because if you have the map, and, okay, so here's C, here, C, and then A, and then B's over here, and then this is a cave. I think B should have been put over here in the cave, because it would have been a little bit easier to capture it, and I think it would have been a better choke point, because the cave really rarely gets used, and I think there's a lot of good cover over in the cave, and I think it could be a good spot. So, yeah, on to the things the good things about the game, because there are a lot of the good things. The good things about the game is the connection. There's a lot of really good connection in this game, and I do think that the dedicated servers have really helped. They're slowly rolling them out, as many of you know. They're not trying to put it all out at once and screw themselves over. The only thing that doesn't really help with that is the fact that sometimes it does take a little bit longer to get into a game, and I have experienced that, but once you do get in the game, the connection is good. And also, another thing that I was wondering, I think the player cards are a little glitched out, because it says my preferred weapon is the FAD, and in my career in that game, I'm going 1 and 2 with that gun, and I have never bought it. So, I don't see how that can be my preferred weapon. So, yeah, another thing I like about the game would definitely be the new engine, the mechanics and things that they switched. Contextual lean is probably one of my favorite things in a Call of Duty game, because even though your guy does kind of switch 90 degrees and it is a little awkward looking when you look at someone leaning, when you lean, it's basically a sideways head glitch. That's what I picture it as, because they can only see a little bit of you, and you can just pop them and kill them down right there. And also the slide is really fun to do, and I think it's better than Dolphin Dive. The mantle system is a lot better. It makes the game a lot more fun to be able to shoot while you're climbing something, and do whatever you please with that. As the game overall, I would rate it probably about an 8 out of 10, because, you know, it is a Call of Duty game, and it's going to have its flaws like every Call of Duty game, but under the circumstances, I think it is the best one in a while. I think it's better than MW3. Some people might disagree. It's definitely better than Black Ops 2 in my opinion. Some people might disagree. But I think Black Ops 1 is my favorite Call of Duty simply because it was my first, and I don't think any Call of Duty can ever could ever match the level of newness and funness that Black Ops 1 brought, because that was the first one I ever bought, and that was the first game I ever got super excited about and anticipated and watched videos about, watched live streams when it came out while I wasn't playing. That was what got me into Call of Duty, and that's what got me into YouTube as well, because I had never been a super YouTubey person, and I think if you have been with me since my first channel, which I forgot the password to, but that's a story for another day. That's why I have this second channel, because I forgot the password to the first one a long time ago, and so I made a second one, and I just kind of stuck with this one. But if you remember, the first video I made on that channel was a Black Ops 1 review, which was about 14 minutes long, and I sounded like a girl, and I was talking really super quiet because it was about 3:30 in the morning, and right now it's 9:09, so I mean, and I was recording on my brother's miniature laptop that he ended up breaking, but all that's a long time ago, and I won't talk about that. But anyway, so there's a reason why that some games are better than others, and that's because it was new to me, and I don't think Call of Duty can ever be new to me unless they drastically change it. Yes, Call of Duty changed a lot of their things, but it's still Call of Duty. And they would have to drastically change something and make it not Call of Duty anymore for it to be like Black Ops 1 to me. So, with Call of Duty out of the way, as I said before, I give it an 8 out of 10. I do recommend buying it if you were looking at getting a new game and you don't know. I haven't played Battlefield 4 yet. I plan on getting it for the 1, and I will then do a comparison video, but a lot of people say Battlefield's better. I haven't played it, so I can't tell you, but I can tell you that Ghost is a solid game. So on to the next thing, on to the next one. I'm Jay-Z. The Xbox One. As you know, I originally said I was going to get a PS4 about 4 or 5 months ago when they first released prices. That was before DRM got removed from Xbox. And then, once they removed it, and I started learning about actual things and doing research, I wanted the Xbox One, and I still do to this day. And it came out yesterday, on the 22nd, and I went to get it today, and everywhere in, what, Justin, would you say like a 10-mile radius?
What?
Would you say like a 50-mile radius around us is sold out? Like 50? 10?
I don't know.
Well, basically, if you draw a circle around my town, which I'll let be unnamed, you can't find it probably about 50 miles around there. I'd probably have to go super north or super south to find the game that to find the Xbox One. We've called multiple Targets, and we went to GameStops and Walmarts and Best Buys, and they don't know when they're getting it, and they don't have any. And I know I should have pre-ordered it, but you know, we didn't realize that was going to happen like that. So I don't have it yet, but I plan on getting it soon. And once I do have it, I will make more videos about said Xbox One. And definitely, I do feel like my channel will start to grow a little bit, because this is what I want to do. I want to be a YouTuber. I don't know if I've told you guys this, but that's what I want. I mean, I will try. I'm still going to try to do good in school and do everything right, but I want to be a YouTuber, and I know that I know what it takes to be a YouTuber. You have to be entertaining, and you can't be boring. And I don't really think I'm boring. I don't find myself a boring person, and I feel like I have a lot of ways and strategies to entertain people, and I feel like I can. So that's why I want to continue to do YouTube, and that's why I never really stopped making videos, even if it was for something as stupid as a teddy bear that I showed, Curious George, something retarded. Sorry for using that word, but, you know, something stupid or silly. I will try to put videos up as often as I can. And I am 15 right now, and I will turn 16 in July, and I hope... I'm just going to keep using the word "and" if that's okay for you guys. But when I turn 16, I'm going to try to get a job. Well, not try, I'm going to get a job. And then I'm going to try to buy myself into getting a YouTube setup. I want to buy myself a gaming computer that I can do plenty of different games on, and get a microphone and a Elgato and all that stuff. just a little starter pack. I need to have that, a YouTube starter pack. I have a computer, a capture card, a microphone, everything that you would need, editing software. I don't know how much editing software is, but yeah, this video is getting pretty long, so I'll go ahead and try to wrap it up. But yeah, so that is it for this video, and I will try to add more as soon as I, get more stuff to talk about. If nothing drastic happens, I'll probably make another video once something drastic happens, or once I get my Xbox One, whatever happens first. Or if I get a new game. So yeah, guys, it has been Jack Caroselli 2, or Jack Caroselli 2017. I think that's my new name now. I don't know. That's when I graduate, by the way. So it's been Jack here. I will see you guys next time. Have a good day. It's Jack. Bye.